It's 3 hours, and you feel it. But I loved it. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about Oppenheimer, the new Christopher Nolan movie. There are a bunch of people in this movie that pop up that I didn't know were in it, so I'm not going to tell you the whole cast. But it stars Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Robbie Downey Jr., and Matt Damon. The movie is told in like 3 parts, where it's like different time periods. We have the first part is mostly following Oppenheimer. We have another part where it's like a deposition against Oppenheimer, where this group is talking to him and a bunch of his colleagues about developing the atomic bomb and maybe being a communist. Then we have another part where it's like a hearing, and it's more focused on RDJ's character. We get a lot of time with him, and I didn't know we were going to get that much time with him, and he was really doing his thing. But let's go back to the main part where we are following Oppenheimer, and off the back we know that he's brilliant. Everybody he meets are like, oh, I know who you are. And he goes around and he's meeting all these other scientists, and he's learning about physics and all this science stuff that I really don't understand anyway. But every time he meets someone, it's like, oh, you are the best at this field, you are the best at this field. And he's just walking around. He's very friendly people person, it seems like. You know, he likes to just interact with people, but he's kind of naive because he's hanging out with people that are a part of the Communist Party, and they're like, oh, are you joining us? And he's like, nah, I just want to understand a little bit more about the party, and I want to understand a little bit more about this. That's all. He's all about information and intelligence, and people are like, he's definitely a communist, you know. So people are following him, the government is following him, and he doesn't really care. Like, he's just like, I'm just doing my thing. And we see him start teaching a class, and it's just one student when he starts, and then all of a sudden it starts populating and more people, and he's having dialogue with the students, and it's just a bunch of brilliant people talking and having a good time. And at some point a discovery happens and a bomb comes up, and it's like, oh, we're gonna make a bomb. And the government doesn't want to bring him in on this particular project because they think he's a communist. And that's when Matt Damon character comes in and, you know, just talking to him to see what kind of person he is. And he's basically put in charge to put this team together to create this atomic bomb. And you can see the scientists like having joy in like discovering things and putting things together and having things work. But then you also see the fear of like, are we really going to use this? Because they wanted to drop it on Germany during the war, and it's like, wait, Germany is, you know, retreating, they're surrendering. Do we still have to do this? And you see like the conflict between a lot of different scientists. You know, some people that helped with the project is like, we want to sign this petition so, you know, we don't use the bomb. And then Oppenheimer is like, you can see it's just messing with him at times. Like, I want to do this, I need to do this, but then he's like, but do we really need to drop it? And it's fun seeing him go through this, plus a lot of his personal stuff that he has to go through. And then it interplays with the deposition where he looks more defeated, like after, because that happens after the bomb is dropped, and people are coming in talking about his loyalty to the United States, because although he was born in the US, his parents were German, so they were like, you know, he might be a communist. And some of the acting that goes on in these scenes are just incredible. Like, everybody on screen, everybody that shows up just has this toughness. It's just like everybody knows what they need to do, and they do it. They execute perfectly, and it's just cool watching them go back and forth between following Oppenheimer, figuring things out, to the deposition where he looks so defeated, and then going to RDJ, and that is shot in black and white. It's a different aspect ratio and everything, and watching RDJ go off on people. And it was fun. Yes, it's 3 hours, and you feel the 3 hours because it's 3 hours, and there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking, but it's worth it. They have the Trinity test where they test the bomb, and it's the best explosion I've ever seen in a movie. and it was practical. It wasn't CGI. And when you get to that scene, it's like, it's magical. The way people react, the way it's shot, the way it sounds, it's like, how did they do that? And I want to know more, because it was like incredible. But I enjoyed the movie. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it. Don't spoil anything about any certain characters or people that show up in this movie. It's 3 hours. It's a good time. I saw it in Dolby, but I'm going to see it in IMAX 70mm because the show's just been sold out like crazy. But I'm going to see it in IMAX because I need to see it again. Those are just my thoughts. If you saw the movie, let me know what you thought about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.